Hello guys, so I'm very glad to be back on TikTok live. It's been a long while since I came on live. That's because there were several technical issues that I experienced each time I tried to log on to present a live session. So this is a wonderful time to be with you this morning, and it promises to be amazing for all of us. The interesting thing about today's meeting is I have been offline for up to like 2 months or thereabouts since the last ever live session. And today I'm here to answer all of your questions pertaining to, the videos that I've been posting over the past few months. A lot of times, because I dwell on stocks, investing and all of that. And so people ask questions that a lot of times you can't answer, by just mere typing. All right, so I'm here to answer your questions live. Immediately I get set to start, in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to be answering your questions. But you know what? You're going to be in for something great today. I can tell you for free that today's session is unique and it's going to be fully loaded. And most of all, it's going to be very engaging. Please, I'd like you to now share this live session. It's been a very long time. I have missed a lot of you, and so many other followers have joined me and haven't been able to benefit from what I give physically. And I like to meet my followers personally, and that's why I'm so delighted and excited to be with you this morning. And I hope that you will get something from today's meeting. While you are sharing, please keep liking, and I'd like you to know that every time I come online, there is something that gives, and you must get something out of this meeting. If you like your friends, please share with them and let's get going. We have just 4 minutes before I kick off the main session. We will also have question and answer sessions, and I'll also like to bring you up on stage for those of you who may be interested in asking your questions live, so I can meet you one-on-one. It's interesting to be back here on TikTok live, and I can tell you it's going to be promising indeed. Now, a lot of people are joining us from across the world, and they are members of the what we call Net Worth Investors Club. All right, they are a community of investors who follow me, and we have a WhatsApp group that we exchange ideas on how to make money profiting from opportunities in the international and local markets. Okay, so I'd like you to know that you are in company of investors already, and like they say, birds of the same feather flock together. Okay, while others are struggling with economic situations and circumstances, Net Worth Investors Club members are living their life as though they are not part of what the economy is saying. That's because over the years they have been able to find a way to make their money work for them. All right, how do I recover my shares back from brokers who sold your shares without your intent and you didn't give? Okay, well worth. Good question. Before we start, I think I should answer that question. Now, the reason why we always advise people to invest in regulated sectors is so that they can be punished when they, commit any form of fraud. What you have just reported now is a fraud and must be taken seriously. One thing I'll advise you, if you have the email addresses of these stockbrokers, you will do a mail to SEC. Securities and Exchange Commission is the regulating body, the regulatory organization supervising stockbrokers operations. If they sold your shares without your instruction, that is fraudulent and punishable first by the regulatory body. So you're going to do a mail stating your concerns and what the problem is to sec.gov.ng. Send them an email copying your stockbroker so they know that their matter has been reported to SEC, and you will be amazed at what the outcome will be. Wealth what? Please do that, and let's hear what the outcome is. I like to hear the outcome because I've seen it done several times. Once a stockbroker hears that you are emailing SEC, or you email them first while putting SEC in copy, they are afraid and they hurry to do what they ought to do to refund those shares and replace them for you, including, because if it gets to SEC, if they sold it and there were dividends paid over the years when it was sold, SEC will fine them, punish them to pay you compensation, including all the dividends you have lost, and to restore all the stocks. And if they are so unfortunate that the company issued bonus shares, they will be compelled to give you those bonus shares as well. So that's the way it works. So, gentlemen and ladies, welcome to today's session of how to invest in the stock market. And the stock market I mean now does not just mean the Nigerian stock market. I'm talking about both the global stock market, especially the US stock market, which we normally trade in. All right? So thank you for joining, everyone. I really appreciate you. And I promise you it's going to be a great time. Now, in our wealth community, I always advocate for knowledge. That's because in everything you do, once you are knowledgeable, then you can always be sure of getting optimum results. You are always on top of the game. The reason why a lot of people are scared of stocks is because they are not interested in putting in the work to learn. But learning will give you knowledge. And once you are equipped with knowledge, then you can maximize the benefits therein. And that is why I always advocate wherever I go that people pursue knowledge. If you can pursue after knowledge, then every good thing regarding what you are doing is likely to happen for you. How do I mean? A lot of people jumped into stocks in 2007 and 2008, and in the process of doing what they have no idea, they got into losses. And those losses were so bad, they do not want to get back into anything that has to do with stocks. Please, I'd like you to know that what you actually lacked was knowledge, and that was what worked against you. So this session is meant to educate us, inform us, and equip us to be better investors in the stock market. So here we are. How to invest in the stock market. All of my videos, every time I post about stocks, people will ask questions such as, how can I invest in so and so stock? Where should I go? What do I do? Now, I like to inform everyone, to invest in the stock market, all you need is the desire and the drive. Then you have your cash. The next thing you have to do is to approach a stockbroking firm. All right? You are in the US, you are in Europe, you are in Nigeria, you are in Dubai, wherever you are, you can engage stockbroking firms online to register. All you need to do is confirm whichever stockbroker you want to use. Many years ago, it was impossible to be a Nigerian resident or in Africa somewhere and invest in the US market. But today, as we speak, all of that is now possible because every passing day, the world continues to become a global village to a larger extent than it was the previous years. Now, all you need is a financial technology company that has foreign stock brokerage partnerships, and then the fintechs will verify you wherever you are in your locality and then bring you up on their platform and then link you up with stockbrokers abroad so that you too in Africa, in Ghana, in Namibia, in South Africa, in Nigeria, in Niger, in Congo, wherever you are, Senegal, Cameroon, you can be able to buy stocks such as Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, all of those stocks that you have been spending money on without getting anything in return. Because we all use Microsoft, most of us use iPhones, and produced by Apple and all of these companies, including designers like Louis Vuitton and so on. Listen, there are stocks and company shares that is on sale. While you are patronizing these companies, you can also invest in them so that as you spend money on these companies, when they make profits, you also benefit from such establishments. This is the whole idea of this. And for your information, if you know how to determine what good stocks to buy, then you can never ever lack, money. That's because stocks are a way of increasing your net worth by way of growing your money, and also generating passive income in the form of dividends that comes to you. Currently, we are in the earnings season in Nigeria, so a lot of companies are paying dividends. Okay, so as much as possible, the whole idea is, now that you are working, now that you are youthful, energetic, you have strength to do a lot of things, make sure that the money you are earning, you are not spending them all. You know why? Because this is where you separate the rich from the poor, the way you use your money. Please, as you are joining us, keep liking this session, keep sharing this live session, and also make sure you follow me, because you stand to gain a lot from our interactions. Okay, so like I said, you want to start putting money aside from what you already have, and then begin to make that money work for you. That's because you may be 30 years old now, you may be 25 years old now, you may even be 45 years, 50 years old now, but you won't remain the same forever. However old you are, you have up to another 50 more years to live on this earth, 40 more years to live on this earth. You can't continue to hustle the way you are hustling today. And so the smart thing to do is to gather money that you are making now to invest in places where even if you stop working, money will still start coming. Some places that people are working, they are still retrenching people. They downsize. They tell you all sorts of stories and tell you, look, we can't continue holding on to you. We have to lay off some people so the business can continue to survive. What if that happens to you? We saw a situation in 2019, 2020. COVID ravaged the whole world. People who thought they had a permanent lifetime job lost their jobs. What becomes of you if what you are doing now suddenly disappears? The point is, there is no need to keep hustling for the rest of your life. There is sense and wisdom in making sure that your money begins to work for you. And that's the opportunity that the stock market offers. Now, the beauty about stock market is you can start from wherever you are. Once you find a stockbroking firm and you register with them and you make your deposit, whatever amount you have, you are ready to start building it. Can I tell you something? Knowledge is separated into two: know and edge. What does that tell you? It tells you that what you know is what gives you an edge over others in a particular field. You have to get knowledge. Once you have knowledge, it gives you an edge in what you are doing. So there are several hundreds and thousands of companies listed on stock exchanges around the world. Your knowledge of which is the best and how to pick the best will determine your edge over all other people in the market. Now, the way the stock market operates is it is fully regulated. You must have seen companies, after the full name of the company, you will see PLC, meaning Public Limited Company. Such companies are companies that are listed in the stock market. They are completely different from just limited companies, because limited companies are private companies. Now, once a company goes public, it becomes a public company, right? It gets listed on the stock exchange at a particular price based on the valuation of the company that was done. Now, from that point that the company is listed, as they continue to increase value in the marketplace, making more money for their shareholders, the value of the stock begins to rise. I give you an instance. I was in a university when Zenith Bank and GT Bank got listed on the stock market. They came out with a public offer and they were selling for 5 naira per share then. What it means is that with 50,000 naira then, you would have been able to buy 100,000 shares of Zenith Bank at 5 naira per share. Now, Progress to as we speak today. Zenith Bank is selling for 24 naira per share, meaning to buy 100,000 shares of Zenith Bank today, you're going to spend 2.4 million naira. What you used 50,000 to buy some years ago, you now need 2.4 million naira to buy. This is how you increase value in the stock market. So the whole aim is to buy companies at very good valuation, and over a period, knowing that they are productive and they are profitable, the price of the stock will continue to increase over the years. By the way, before this time, most companies in Nigeria were giving out both dividends and bonus shares. So those who bought Zenith Bank, GT Bank from the late 90s to the early 2000s and upwards, listen, they've accumulated dividends on their stocks, including bonus shares. Thank you for the likes, everyone. Keep tapping your screen severally, because that is how you generate likes, and also keep sharing, because most of your friends need this information I'm sharing now. And you know, in this part of the world, there is nothing like mentorship. In the United States, there are over 4,000 mentorship establishments, where they always find a way to encourage young and upcoming youngsters. People who want to invest, people who want to do business. There are places they attach themselves to, and they grow very fast. And that's why up till this moment, America means the largest number of millionaires around the world. But over in this part of the world where we belong, people hardly want to share their information. If you truly made wealth genuinely, you will not be scared to share the information, because nobody's going to take it from you. And the more we are, the merrier as far as the wealth community is concerned. That's why I'm so passionate about building wealth and bringing people together. Whatever it takes for us to get it done, let's get it done. If you have to pay a certain fee to get some knowledge, some certain level of knowledge that is not all over the place, pay it and do it. If you have to just belong to a group where certain ideas are shared, and you can glean from such information free of charge by following me here and following us on and joining our WhatsApp community, however you want to do it, attach yourself somewhere where you can be getting valuable information that will improve your life. Listen, your salary is not going to save you. I have known this all my working life, and I'm now out of work for the last 12 to 15 years. I'm in private business. Your salary is not going to make you. What you make with your salary is what will eventually make you. And that's what I've been preaching about, and that's why I'm here and excited to have you here. Very soon I'll be opening up for questions to be asked, and then for those of you who would like to come online, please make sure that you are set. When the question and answer session comes, I will answer your questions, and then we'll also attend to your video calls, so that you can ask your questions. But please understand that rich people believe I create my life. Poor people believe life happens to me. These are the differences. I've come to sit down and realize that the thinking mentality of the rich is completely different from that of the poor. And that is why poor people remain poor and the rich gets richer. It's not rocket science. If you think a particular way, you will continue to get the same results. But until you change your mindset and begin to take steps completely different from what you have been doing, you are not going to get out of that rat race, that very spot that you have remained over the years. And I can inform you, no government anywhere is going to save you. Nowhere you run to is going to save you from the knowledge that you are lacking. Until you gather that knowledge, you will keep struggling, and it is not worth the struggle. I mean, you can be better than where you are now. And that's why we're opening ourselves up to show you how it happened for us. Why did I say that salary will not make you? I was a banker. If you see my bio, you will see that I'm an ex-banker. While in the bank, I was earning a specific salary, and then I moved onto Shell, the oil industry in Shell, in Port Harcourt. And my salary was tripled. While my salary was tripled, I still saw that it still wasn't enough. So how was I surviving while in the bank, earning what I was earning before the salary got tripled? And while I joined the shell, I saw a lot of people earning far more than me, more than twice what I was earning, and they still had struggles. I came to the conclusion that the amount of salary you earn per month, per week, per day, whatever it is not going to change your story until you make that positive change of mindset of how you manage your resources. And that brought me to the conclusion that what you earn is not all yours to eat if you must have a stress-free future. Now look at me. Without going anywhere, in the last 2 weeks, I've been collecting dividends from NACO, African Prudential, Zenith Bank, GT Bank dividend is on its way, UBA has dropped for me, FCMB dividend has dropped for me, without working. Do you know the wisdom in that? The wisdom is that I take my cash, I invest in these banks, in these companies, and then those people who are running around as bank staff, every 7 a.m. they should be at the bank. That's how we used to run. All right? In fact, when I started, there was no car. But you must put on suit. And then there was Okada to fly you to your branch. So I will put on suit, fly Okada to my branch, get into the banking hall, sit down, and then begin to work. Every morning you have to do that for 30 days. And after all of that, what happens to you? You end up with a salary that is not enough to take you home. Now there is inflation, there is devaluation at the same time. Everywhere in the world, the dollar is being devaluated. The naira is heavily devaluated. By this time last year, the naira was exchanging for about 450 to 500 naira per dollar. Today, it's exchanging for 750, almost double. That means your money in the bank is wasted because devaluation has eaten it up. How do I break this down for you to understand? If you went on vacation last year, you needed $10,000 to spend on your trip. All you needed was 4.5 million naira at 450 naira per share per dollar. Today, if you want $10,000, you must cough up 7.5 million. The same $10,000 last year that you got for 4.5 million, you have to spend 7.5 million. Check that out. That's how terrible saving money is. That's why the rich invest, the middle class save, the poor spend. Do you know why? Because the middle class now does not exist because their money has been eroded by devaluation. Send your likes. Even though the network is fluctuating, I will not stop talking. Okay? So when you buy shares, what you are trying to do is while you are asleep. How beautiful is that? When you buy stocks and you don't need the amount of money you are using to buy real estate now. If you have 20,000, you can start investing in the Nigerian stock market. 50,000, you can start. 100,000, you can start. And this is to clear the questions about how much do I start with. 1 million, you can start. 100 million, you can start. Do you know something? The stock market will humble you. People who get money and make noise around the world, around the place, around the neighborhood, as if they've hit a lot of money. They have no idea how poor they are until they take that money to the stock market. Your 100 million naira will be swallowed up by just 1 million units of Nestle. Nestle is selling for 1,000 naira per share. 1,000 naira per share for Nestle. Your 100 million will be erased under record time as you buy just one company in Nestle, and it's nothing compared to what other people have. This same Nestle that is selling for 1,000 naira per share now was selling for 9 naira per share when we started investing. To us then, 9 naira per share was too expensive. That's the problem. So over the years, the value of the stock begins to increase. This is why you need to start investing now. And it doesn't matter who your father is and who your father is not. What matters is who you have decided to become. Like I said, the rich invest, the middle class save, the poor spend. The poor continue to spend everything that comes to them. That's why they remain in the same cycle and continue to be stuck in that rat race. The middle class save. Now, savings have been eroded by inflation and devaluation. That's why there's no middle class anymore. Today, it's either you are rich or you are poor. There's no hiding the fact. A lot of people who claim to be middle class are struggling with their finances. Why should you keep struggling when there is knowledge for you? There is a community to join and to begin to do what the rich is doing. Invest like the rich. Can I tell you something? This moment, as I speak to you, the richest man in the world, the man who toppled Elon Musk that everybody knows, is an investor in stocks. He invests in a company called LVMH in the United States. You too can invest. No, in Europe. LVMH is selling for 872 euro per share right now. That man, suddenly, his stock rose last year, and today, on Forbes' richest list around the world, he has toppled Elon Musk, who was number one. He is now worth about $211 billion by reason of his investment. Listen, Louis Vuitton and fashion and cosmetics brands all make up the LVMH brand, all right? So you are spending your money on fashion. You are buying Louis Vuitton. You are buying all kinds of things. The thing is enriching people. Why don't you also decide to have this knowledge that let me also go and invest in these companies that I'm spending money in? For instance, I use Apple phone, an iPhone, and my sense have told me that all the subscriptions you are making on Apple is going to other people's pockets. While you are patronizing Apple, doing subscriptions, buying their phones and their palm tops and all of their iPads, why not invest in Apple stocks? So that when they make these profits and declare dividends, it also comes to you. What is a dividend? Dividend is simply the money shared to shareholders from the profit that the company makes at the end of the year. These things are real and practical. Those banks that you are going to put your money, stop being a bank customer alone. Become a bank shareholder, so that as they take your money and do business with it and make more money for themselves, as they share to shareholders, you too, being a shareholder, will also benefit from what they are sharing. That's what we are saying. I've just said to you, in the last 2 weeks, I've been receiving dividends from Zenith Bank, FCMB, UBA, African Prudential, WAPCO, the cement company, also known as Lafarge right now. They've paid me dividends. You too can also benefit. Why is the rich not telling people these things and opening it up to them so that they can also gain financial freedom? Why is it being held back from the general masses? A lot of money has passed through your hands that if you check and count in the last 1 year, you will be angry with yourself. This is the time to correct that merry-go-round that you have been doing with your finances and find a way to make money available to begin to work for you also. Because this, your body will soon get tired. You are not getting any younger, but you can put money to work and money never gets tired. Money is just paper. Do you get me now? So this is why I want you to settle down and make up your mind. Are you liking at all, or you're just enjoying this session for nothing? Send your gifts, like, share, double tap your buttons, keep tapping your screens, and let's get going. I will soon proceed to question and answer so I can get you up on board and begin to answer your questions as well. All right, so let me run you through the richest people in the world. So an investor in stocks has toppled Elon Musk. In case those of you who are still here, you don't know, Elon Musk is no longer the richest man in the world. The Forbes list have Bernard Arnault. Bernard Arnault is now the richest man, valued at $211 billion. Listen, for you to know how well you are performing, you must have a net worth. Those of you who are members of the Net Worth Investors Club, you understand what I'm saying. You are investing to increase your net worth. What is net worth? Your total assets minus your liabilities. That's all. Everything you have of value put together, what is the current value minus every liability in your life? The balance is your net worth. That is how to start your wealth journey. And then you begin to grow from strength to strength as your investment is increasing, as you are putting more money, as you are earning more from what you are investing in. That's what your net worth is. So everybody on the rich list of Forbes has a net worth, and something is always attached to them. What are you doing? What will people use to measure your net worth? That's why we are here. Enough of just earning salary and blowing it. You have many more years ahead of you when you may not be able to work again. How about retiring like me, and then every summer you travel with your family on vacation, fully funded by you without struggle? I woke up to an alert in millions because I invested over the years. Don't get me wrong. Investing in stocks is a process. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. To take trade, he is worth $114 billion. Each of these rich people on the list, there is something they use to determine their wealth status, which is their net worth. What they are doing. What are you doing? Are you just earning salary? Nobody became rich by their salaries. And no one on the rich list ever became rich by saving money. Because saving money is an old syllabus. Now you put your money to work so that your money replicates you. You understand what I mean? Where you are working to earn 60,000, 100,000, 500,000 per month, you now take some of those monies to invest. Before you know it, all your investments have started bringing some money equivalent to the work you are doing and earning. That's the wisdom of investing. Number 4 man on the rich list is Larry Ellison. He's worth about $107 billion and he's behind Oracle. Thank you so much for the gifts. Now I'm beginning to see gifts. Send in your gifts. This out. I really appreciate your gifts. Thank you so much. If you are not following me, please keep following, keep liking, keep sharing this session, because a lot of young people have been deceived into thinking that politics is where the money is. Listen, most of our old politicians who do not have access to power now cannot become anything. Check them out. Previous governors, previous commissioners, they are all struggling in poverty. That's because they failed to plan, and today they are struggling. Politics is not where it is. Taking a decision to be financially free and following instructions to make it happen for yourself is the ultimate. The South, you are really making me proud and firing me up with your gifts. Thank you so much. The rest of us, what are you doing? Keep sending in your gifts, keep sending in your likes as we make progress. I'm about to open the channel now, to open the floor for all of us to begin to be a part of these sessions. The number 4 man on the list is Warren Buffett, my number 1 investment mentor. This man has turned everything that comes into him to billions. He is on top of $106 billion in net worth. This man is in charge of Berkshire Hathaway. Berkshire Hathaway shares, Class A shares, sells for over $200,000 per share. Can you believe that? Apple is selling for $190 something per share. Berkshire Hathaway is selling for over $200,000 per share for one stock of a company. Then the man on number 6, you all know him, Bill Gates. Remember, Bill Gates used to be number 1 richest man in the world. Now he's number 6 with a net worth of $104 billion. You know what Bill Gates does? Microsoft. Once you hear the name Bill Gates, you know it's Microsoft. All right? So this is what we are talking about. You must find something to build your net worth. And that's why we have Net Worth Investors Club. We have a consciousness that to be wealthy, to be free financially, you must follow definite steps with principles, a process that is not here today, gone tomorrow, to build wealth for yourselves. And let me say this, don't give your money to anybody to invest on your behalf for any reason. If it is stocks, let the account be opened in your name and deposit it into your trading account. If it is forex, let it be put in your trading account. Enough of these scammers, Ponzi schemes disguising as stocks, forex, property, real estate, all of that. Please don't be a victim anymore. All you need is knowledge. Attach yourself to somebody who knows it, and if they are doing any kind of mentorship, pay and sit down. It is very cheap to gather this knowledge from mentors and then go and use it, because they will help you to get established on the path to your financial freedom. Listen, politicians in this part of the world, instead of mentoring you, they climb on your shoulder, whereas mentors give you their shoulders to climb so that you don't make the mistakes that they have made, and then you leverage on their wisdom and their experience to go ahead. All right, mentorship is the legal shortcut to success, and that is why you need a mentor. If you want to learn on your own, do it yourself approach, I encourage that. just attach yourself to where you can be gleaning knowledge and experiences, where you can ask questions and get responses, and then you are off to a flying start. Nobody taught me this, but when I knew this and saw that the richest people in the world, including in Nigeria, are doing this, I thought, why don't we let more others know about this? And that is why I'm here to share my knowledge to as many. And then anyone who is interested in mentorship, please go on my bio, click on it, and then follow the procedures to be mentored. But you can be engaging me on these channels for free. And I will always try my best to come on board to share knowledge with you. In the end, let's all get up there and get rich. Have you ever seen two aircrafts crashing in the air? Never. That's because up there, right up there, the sky is enough to take all of us. Let's meet more millionaires in Nigeria. Let's meet more millionaires in Africa. Let's meet more millionaires around the world by just sharing knowledge. In the next few hours, the US market will be open. I am invested in that market. You need to know about this. Engage me, and you will see how simple it can be to make money from the stock market. Now I'm going to open the floor for us. Remember, rich people believe I create my life. Poor people believe life happens to me. So whatever life serves them, they take. It doesn't matter who wins an election or who loses an election, because none of them is coming to save you. No president is coming to save you. In this life, you are 100% responsible for your life. You get that? Now, anyone who has a question, let me begin by engaging you and accepting you to come on board to ask. Hello, Princess. It's good to have you here.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Very good morning. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Talk to me.
You're welcome, sir.
Please
I
tell
just
us where
want
you're
to
streaming from.
from Highland.
From Lagos Island.
No, Dublin, Ireland,
Dublin.
Republic of
Okay, great.
Ireland.
Good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining. I
You're welcome,
appreciate your
sir.
presence.
Yes, sir.
Now, shoot.
I just want to talk about the investments. What you have been talking about since it's 100% truth, because I usually, before I started investing in stock
Yeah.
and stock markets and others, all the experience I had then was to build house. I believe once you build house, you'll be renter income is only a good that's the only good investment income. That was my experience then, and fixed deposit at the bank, because if you go to the bank to ask them that what is the investment opportunity they have, the only thing they present to you is stock fixed deposits. They will never tell you about, sorry, 1 minute. They will never tell you about treasury bills. They will never tell you about other commercial paper. They will never tell you about a lot of things. So then I started researching. I started doing researching. So after I built my first property, Chloe, can you reduce the volume, please? After I built my first property, I calculated my income on the property after all the expenses, because each time I receive my rental income, I do maintenance to put the house in good condition. So after calculating all my expenses, I realized that after like 1.5 million income yearly, I spend more than half of it in maintenance and all that. So at the end of the day, I sat down one day and I thought about selling the property. I called a valuer to come over, because I realized that it's not giving me not even up to 5% of my capital. Right. So I called a valuer, and at the end of the day, I sold the house about 3 years ago. So when I sold the house, I bought stock with the money. I bought SFS REITs in form of, I wanted to be getting rental income. So I went for the SFS REITs, And at the end of the day, what I'm
Real estate
getting
investment trust. Yeah.
as a dividend on that SFS rates in stock market, it's like it's like 500% more than the physical rent I'm getting when I own a house.
See that?
So, like, I'm getting, after my expenses in maintaining the house, my take home was like 750 at the time.
Awesome.
But after I sold the property and I invested in stock,
Awesome.
I bought SFR REITs, my dividends yearly, I'm getting more than 3.7 million. So 3.7 million with the capital of the house I sold on SFS. I bought the SFA stock when it was 62 naira per share. So now my capital has increased because the so-called SFS real now is about, I think, 77 naira per share. And I bought it when it was 62 naira. And I'm getting my no any problem without any tenant taking me to court, without, with no problem, with no hassle at all. But to my friends and family, immediately I sold the house, their orientation was like, maybe someone had a problem, maybe you have a problem, that's why you sold the house. Because Nigeria believe in physical thing. When they see that you build mansion, all the problem, everything, all eyes will be on you. But now I'm getting my dividend without no noise. Nobody knows anything about it. Like, for the couple of days now, I've been getting dividend. I got dividend from UBA. I got dividend from Zenith. I got dividend from Afri Prudence. And I'm expecting more to come with GT Bank. I'm expecting from Access Bank. I'm expecting from SFS Res. I'm expecting. And I also invested in treasury bill, which you get your interest upfront. They pay you your interest upfront. So the interest, I reinvested it again in money market fund. So every day my money is working for me. I get to log into my account every day. I see my interest being paid on money markets. And at the end of the day, anytime government board come out, like they issue bonds, like Shuku bond, I bought Shuku bond 2, I bought Shuku bond 3. So I have every month I get something, like I get bond dividends and dividend from stock. I get dividend from bonds. I get paid every day on my money market investments. So whoever want to learn this, your page is like an eye opener for many people that glow with it, because I did not get to have all this knowledge when I started investing. I started with liability instead of something that will be giving me, instead of investments. What I put my money on at first, I fixed the money, and the money kept devaluating by inflation. I never realized the power of devaluation. I did not know all that by investing in fixed deposit at the time. So they will give you maybe 2%, 3%, 4%, and at the end of the day, your money will be devalued. I mean, like the 100 million you have at the time you invested, maybe at the end of the day, may not worth up to like 50 million. So people need to understand the power of devaluation against their naira. And another thing.
Yes. Thank you, Princess.
Yes, sir.
Another thing
I want to talk about, it's about because I have some people talking about they want to change all their money to dollars, and that's the only safe haven for them. That when they change all their money to dollar, that will save them from devaluation. And I kept telling them that they should diversify, because you cannot put all your egg in one place. You have to diversify, because the
All
Nigerian
your
can
eggs
wake
in
up
one
tomorrow
basket.
and something can happen and dollar can go back to like 400, and you that already bought it 700, at the end of the day you will lose almost half of your money. So I kept telling them, do not put all your money in dollar, because they can wake up tomorrow and say everybody that have domiciliary account, we have to be getting their money in naira. Any policy can come up from the CBN tomorrow, because they did it in the all these struggling other country, that they were issuing their kinopi. So I don't know. People that are here will understand what I'm talking about. So you have to diversify. Like I said, I invested in stock, I invested in bond, I invested in commercial paper, I bought treasury bill. Like every month, I'm getting dividend. I'm getting like the physical house I sold. I invested in a paper property that pays me dividend. The SFS rates, not real rates. If you Google it, you will see it. It's rates.
Princess,
Yeah. So you'll be getting your rental income. The rental
thank
income
you
on the
so much,
physical
Princess. Thank you.
property that gives me 750.
Thank you.
I'm getting over
Thank
3
you.
point something
Let me
million.
respond to you now. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. It's been very, very valuable having you here. At least you have added voice to what I've been crying and shouting about. Indeed, you made a great choice. Listen, guys, market, and today she's benefiting from it and is telling her that place you went to will not save you if you don't take the right steps. It's good to invest everywhere. I have so many things that I can tell you about the advantages of investing in stocks versus the disadvantages with real estate enthusiasts. But please open up your mind to diversify. If you have a property of 100 and all you have is that property, how can you go and sell one room out of that property for 5 million to solve your 5 million naira problem? No. What your property will be valued at 75 million or even 60 million. So you are going to be cheated because you are under pressure. Liquidity may be a problem, but when you have stocks, you have one problem, 200,000 naira problem, 50,000 naira problem. You can just click a button and sell your stocks based on the value of what you want to solve, the problem you want to solve. Take the money, solve your problem, what the problem is. That's the beauty of investing in the stock market. And I am advocating. Please, guys, is there anyone out there who wants to still call me and let's keep talking while I respond to some of your messages here? Okay, when How do I recover? Okay, I've answered that question. Thank you so much, Brikonzi.
Hello,
You've been very
hello, sir.
patient
Good
on the
morning.
line while waiting to come on board.
Good.
You're welcome. Nice to have you here. Good morning to you.
Uh,
Please tell us where you're streaming from and straight to your question.
okay, I am Bright. I'm streaming from Korea. I'm very happy to be part of this. Sometimes I come into your live, but today I was able to watch, but I didn't come in early. I've been meaning to and wanting to invest, but I have literally no idea about it. So I was so happy when I saw your live. Even I don't have I sent a message not quite long. If you could guide us, I don't know if you were talking about mentorship class or something. I don't know if you could guide us on how to invest, because I went online to check about all of this and I saw apps like, is it Bamboo or something. I downloaded it. Well, I couldn't navigate my way through. Even Nigerian stocks. I heard you mentioning of the US stock will open soon. Please, if you could guide us, I'll be very, very interested in them. Thank you. That's my question. How do we start the process or something like that? Hello?
Okay. Now, all stock markets around the world are regulated, and so stockbrokers licensed licensed stockbrokers are the ones with the authority to conduct buying and selling on behalf of investors. So no two individuals can come together to say, I have Coca-Cola shares. Do you want to buy? Let's trade. No. There has to be a middleman, which is the stockbroker, who goes between the both of them. So two of them must be registered. First of all, before you own shares, you have to be registered with a stockbroking firm. They will create a trading platform for you on which you can now see other offers in the market to buy from. And then anybody who wants to sell also, you will now come back on the platform to be able to sell to other market investors. Now, the stock market is made of two categories, the primary market and the secondary market. The point is, the reason why we advocate that people find a community to join and probably a mentorship to enroll for is so that you get proper guidance against making some errors. But you can also learn, take your time. If you are the do it your type person, just get information step by step, and then some of these things we share for free, and then you get started. Now, the reason why you need a platform is because there must be a stockbroker to buy or sell shares for you. So you register. In the process of registering, it is similar. I liken it to opening a bank account.
Okay.
When you go to the bank to open a bank account, you warehouse your money in your account, isn't it? It is in
Yes.
your name and you have access to it. The same way, to buy shares, you need an account and you need a stockbroker. For money, it is bank. For shares, it is stockbroker. They will open an account in your name, and then all your monies that you're going to be investing will first go to the stockbroker's account. They will now credit your trading account from which you will see the money you paid in, and then you now use it to buy the shares that you want to buy. The whole idea of investing in shares is to make money. Two ways you make money. One, by capital appreciation. What our sister just shared with a princess from Ireland, she said she bought a particular REIT. It's a real estate investment trust, even in Nigeria. And then she bought it for about 60 something naira per share. It is now 70 something naira per share. So the difference in price increase is capital appreciation. The number of shares times how much it is now. If she sells, she makes more money versus how much she bought it before because of the price increase. That's one. Number two way you make money from the stock market is if you invest in dividend stocks. Dividends are monies that companies make from their profit after tax, because all the idea of business is generate income, revenue, and then when they do all the obligations, overhead costs, salaries, equipment, all of those things, and pay taxes, what is left is the profit after tax. Dividends are paid from the profit after tax. So the idea is scout for the best dividend stocks, scout for the best value stocks. Value stocks in the sense that they look like they are cheap now, but by reason of what they are doing based on their financial performances, they are looking like they will sell higher per share in a couple of years. You buy into those stocks, and before you know it, your net worth is increasing based on capital appreciation, and then you are also earning dividend from time to time. Now, dividend is paid either annually or biannually, that is twice a year, or even quarterly. There are some US stocks that pays dividend quarterly. So your idea of investing in stocks is so that you can begin to generate passive income by way of dividends, and then capital appreciation of the value of your money that you are putting into the stock. I hope this explains it a bit. Most of these things we can't really explain in videos and live sessions like this. That's why we try to help people who are really interested to come on board, take it up to the next level, and get more coaching and attention. Most of them also for free. We have a free WhatsApp group that questions are flying around here and there, but some people prefer to be guided to the letter. Then those ones will be attended to via the mentorship programs that I have been able to do for a lot of people online. So no matter where you are around the world, you want to invest in Nigeria, you can from there, as long as you have a Nigerian bank account that you have access to. You want to invest in US market, you can from wherever you are, as long as you have a platform where you can send money and receive money from, because in the end, you want money back from what you are investing, and you want money to go back into the investment if you want to. What we preach against is never, ever again fall victim of Ponzi schemes in disguise. These days, they disguise as forex trading platforms, crypto trading platforms, stocks trading platforms. Some of them claim to be doing real estate. Some of them even claim to be doing agricultural, stuffs. And then they say, bring money. At the end of every month, we'll give you so percentage. The forex market, the crypto market, the stock market, nobody can predict that under heaven. What we can do is follow a particular trend, pattern, principles, and then invest, knowing that these are the outcomes based on what has happened previously. This is how to be guided and to avoid scams. People charge for whatever fees. As long as it is affordable, once you pay it, that's all. But if you are opening any account, let it be in your name, because it's your money. You get the point?
Yes,
so that's how it works. So where you are, now that you are working and earning money, this is just an error. And I'm speaking to all Nigerians and Africans in diaspora and wherever you are, whoever you are. Even if you're not returning to Nigeria, make sure you're not returning to Ghana, you're not returning to South Africa. Wherever you are, make sure that you are putting your money to work, because you were once a child, now you are an adult. Very soon you will be classified as the elderly. And wisdom does not come by gray hair. Wisdom comes by the application of the knowledge that you have, so that you live a much more comfortable life in your older years.
Yeah.
All right?
Thank you very much. Please, can you add me to the group or the mentorship group? I've sent you a message, a direct message, or a DM. So maybe you can
no
respond
problem. I'll
to
respond to you after this session now.
Okay. Thank you.
And then you can follow up from there. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, Brikonzi, for coming on board and for your valuable contributions. Bye for now. Nigerians in diaspora, I'd like to have you on board while I also respond to some of the questions as you are coming on. Can you refer me to a good and reliable stockbroker? Bishop Peter, I can refer you to several stockbrokers. Morgan Capital Group is one of them. Stanbic IBTC Stockbrokers is another. That is if you are talking of Nigerian stockbrokers. You also have Meristem Securities. They are stockbrokers. Just search for them online. I don't work for any of them, but I use them. And then you too can also register and begin your investment journey. Remember, some people will discourage you and tell you if you don't have 1 million, you cannot invest. That's not true. Morgan Capital Group, they are based in Lagos. I've never stepped foot in their office, but they hold over 90% of my investments in stocks. and bonds. They are so efficient. You can use them, and they don't charge you a dime. They only charge you about, is it 2,500 naira or 5,000 naira per year for accessing their platform, and that's very much fair enough to deal with. Guys, you are not liking again. Tap severally on your screen. Let the likes keep flowing. Your friends are missing out. Your family members, your associates are missing out on very valuable information like this. Share this information to them. Keep following me and make sure that you are getting something out of this meeting, okay? Nigerians in
Okay.
diaspora, thank you for coming on board. Can we hear you now?
Oh, thank
Where
you.
are you
Thank you, Mitch.
streaming from,
Thanks
please?
for the opportunity.
Yes.
Yeah, so what I want to ask you is three basic questions, and one of it is what type of stocks could you advise your followers? You know, stocks that are tested and trusted that one could venture into. Then second thing is for those who are trying to venture into the whole stock market and understand how this works, what would you advise them to read about that could guide their knowledge? What type of knowledge should they search for to read about that could guide them through, right? And the third question is on the forex market, is it possible that someone who is a forex trader can really break through out of understanding forex trade?
Sorry, let me get your forex question again.
Okay, for the forex question is for someone who is like really interested in the forex market and have decided to go into the forex trade, do you think that the forex market has what it takes for to help somebody break in or come out positively and strong from the market as a forex trader?
Okay, let me begin by answering you from there. The fact is, everything is possible, and most of it is based on knowledge. The problem is we are in such a fast-paced world right now, full of so much distractions. We can't seem to settle down, especially at this stage of our lives, to learning and putting in all the energy required for some of these things. So you find people making errors, and a lot of times depending on other people to do what they intend to do. The forex market is very tricky and is seriously based on sentiments, and then a lot of information that you are not in control of. So that is what brings about the uncertainty of the performance of anybody, no matter who they are in the market. But all things are really possible for anyone who is interested in gathering enough knowledge to excel. Like I said when we started, knowledge, the word knowledge is made up of two words separated by an L, know and edge. What you know, the much you know about a subject is what gives you the edge over every other person competing with you in that field. So, too much knowledge all over the internet, all over the world about Forex. But how can one settle down to gather enough of it? Because a lot of Forex traders are in losses here and there. And that's because one way or the other, they have some level of knowledge, but they don't have enough. Actually, being a stock market enthusiast myself, I've been in stocks for over 24 years now. There was a time in my life when I tended towards Forex. And then definitely, of course, my principle is I don't preach or teach what I don't do. So I decided I want to learn Forex. I settled down to gather materials, but as at then, I could not provide the time to learn because I was pursuing a lot of businesses that needed my daily attention to grow it. Now, I came to myself and told myself, I'm not getting enough time to gather the knowledge I need, even if I put materials together. And I'm not going to teach about this because I am not practicing it. And I don't teach what I don't practice. That's how I left Forex. But it gave me an idea of how the market works and how much time and investment is required in terms of learning to get the knowledge that will make you excel in the forex market. Now, that's completely different in my case for stocks, because when you invest in stocks, you're actually buying a part of a company. For instance, let me assume this is a company. All right, you buy a box of pizza. Let's say four of your friends buy a box of pizza, and then you divide it into four parts. This is two into half, and then this is a quarter of it. Each of you take a quarter of it because you invested equally in buying that box of pizza. Having divided it into four, each person takes their own. That portion you take is your share. That's why it's called shares. Now, stocks are a part of a company that you own by paying a specific amount based on what the value is then, hoping that the company is profitable enough to keep doing well so that the market will price it better than you bought it, and then also be profitable enough to pay you dividends based on the shares that you own. That's why dividends are declared per share, if you get that point. So it means, like, now that takes me to the question someone asked, how to identify what stocks. There are two categories of people basically in the market: traders and investors. Investors put money for the medium to long term because they want to gain capital appreciation and also to get dividend as passive income, while traders are just there for the quick money, buy and sell for the short term. They buy a stock today for 4 naira per share or $4 per share. They sell it today for $5 per share or $15 per share in the next 1 month, in the next 2 months, in the next 3 months. However you look at it, these are the two categories of people in the market. Now, to identify the stocks to satisfy each category, you have two key methods of choosing or deciding the stocks to satisfy whichever category you fall into. For long-term investors, what you need is called fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis gives you details of company reports, how they are performing, the last 5 years, what they have done, giving you a picture of whether they are able to repeat the same or improve on it, dividend growth, earnings per share growth, revenue growth, all of that put together. That gives you an idea of the health of the company, the state of the company. You can also detect whether they are still profitable or not, so that you can pull out your investment early enough. Like I said, companies that are listed in the stock market are under regulation. And part of the regulation is that their financial report is made public because you are not a private company anymore. Those who own private businesses are not obliged to share their financial reports. I can't come and tell you what I'm earning in my business because it's private. But once you go to the stock market to be listed, then all accounts must be made public and on time, regularly, quarterly. You don't keep investors in the dark until the year ends and then you surprise them with a terrible performance. You provide your results on a quarterly basis. So the investing public can be able to gauge whether or not you are doing well, whether they should remain with you or they should divest from you and go somewhere else. Look at this board. I did a video about UBA's financial report. On a normal day, bank will not give you their financial report, but this is part of meeting up with the listing requirements. Okay, so it is out there. You now have to source for this information for each company upon company, to decide. And this is where it gets tricky if you're just starting out, or if you have the passion to just keep going one step at a time, searching here and there for information and knowledge, you can get through with what to look out for to determine which stocks to buy. Now, the same cannot be said for traders who are here today, gone tomorrow. Okay, what traders use is technical analysis. All they are interested in is the chart, the movement of the price movement of the stock, because they are buying at a price, hoping that it will go up and they sell. They wait for it to come down at a price, buy again and hope that it will go up and they sell. So you need to understand technical analysis to be able to interpret charts and read them and then be able to find a way to predict price movement. That's how to decide what stocks to buy. I hope I've been able to respond to you to an extent. That
Wonderful.
is
You are You are more than intelligent than I predicted. Please, thanks for sharing this wonderful knowledge.
Thank you
Please, I
so
want to
much. Thank
ask you
you.
something. From the way you analyze this, I can also tell that you're a trader, right? Or maybe you trade. But in that
Yes.
particular aspect, from your knowledge of trading, do you still need a stockbroker to help you, even as much as you've gained all this knowledge in your trade?
For me, I don't need a stockbroker to tell me what to buy. The truth
Okay.
is, a lot of people who are afraid of the market today, the stock market today, were actually victims of stockbrokers, in quotes, with lack of practical knowledge of how the market functions. Truly, there was a time when banks were collapsing in Nigeria. And then the central bank looked at it and said, look, most banks are operating with very little capital base that is not sufficient enough to sustain them. Therefore, all banks increase your share capital to 25 billion. So, how do they increase their share capital? They can't raise money immediately, so they go to the public to sell more shares. So you had an era where all the banks, both the profitable and the unprofitable ones, all came out, and most of them were in glass houses, shining and looking very attractive. They sold shares to the masses. The stockbrokers through whom they sold, some of them are just recruits who just came from school and then they were fresh graduates. They employed them to go and sell shares. And they didn't know what they were selling. So you are seeing a fanciful bank coming to you to sell their shares, you just buy because you believe all what they're saying. Only to find out eventually that the market will eventually value a company according to what it is actually worth, minus the sentiment. The market is full of sentiment, but there comes a time when every company is judged by what they are able to perform. And that is how a lot of people got found themselves in the problem they are. So some stockbrokers do not know these details. They are just there as staff of a company that sells and buys shares for investors. For me, over the years, I have developed to the point where I don't need a stockbroker to tell me what to buy. Some of them do recommendations, they publish them, but a lot of times they also don't work. And you can't just follow them verbatim. You have to find a way to get your own idea and conviction for yourself why you are investing in so and so company.
Beautiful. Please, this leads me to this third question. And thanks for taking our time to answer all this. So now from your whole, as a stockbroker enthusiast, and you encouraging the younger ones and people who also want to get into this market, you've talked about things you can learn about fundamental stock market analysis, technical stock market analysis, and all. Aside these two parts, where can you direct someone who wants to be an enthusiast to read about? What do you focus your knowledge on to learn about the stock market?
Okay, there are so many platforms that you can learn the basics of stocks, market operations. Investopedia.com, www.investopedia.com. Now, it's a foreign website that teaches you how to, a lot you need to know about stocks. But the difference now is there's a difference between analyzing foreign stocks and Nigerian stocks. But the basic knowledge you can get from there, and then I can also direct you or anyone to nairaland.com. They have a Nigerian stock market trade you can follow. Nigerian Stock Exchange market price alert platform on nairaland.com. You can also get a lot of knowledge there. I'm also on that platform and we share knowledge. That's a private platform where people don't disclose their identity. They just have usernames, but you can get a lot of knowledge from there when it comes to understanding more about how the Nigerian market is operating, what is really going on. See, theoretical knowledge is everywhere. The problem is who is going to show us practically how to do this thing. And that's why people pay in certain forums and just to get that practical knowledge. A lot of people just talk, a lot of people just write. Even lecturers in the universities teach all these things. But you check their life, it does not reflect the great things that they are teaching. So you need somebody who is in it and doing it. or you decide to take the plunge, but having armed yourself with knowledge from here and there, asking questions here and there, and then you dive in, and before you know it, you start seeing results.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Is it possible I could get your direct contact so that we could contact you?
Okay, you can actually DM me on Instagram, on even here on this platform. I can respond to you, and then we can take it up from there if you will. All of the channels to reach me are on my bio. There's a link there on my bio. My personal website is there also to show you all of the things that I offer in terms of coaching and all of that. But besides that, most importantly, I'm here for everyone as much as possible. And let's continue to empower ourselves with this wealth creation channel that is available to us.
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate you so, so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Nigerians
you
in
very much.
diaspora. Where are you streaming from again?
Currently in Dubai.
Dubai. Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to take record of locations because I'm trying to build up something, and there are a lot of people from all over the place. There are some people in my mentorship program all the way from even Vietnam. A Ghanaian is in Vietnam, and so on and so forth. So I'm just trying to put something together, and I'm really excited that we are reaching out to like minds out there who really need their money to work for them and to take care of themselves after this moment. Thank you so much, Nigerians in
Yes,
diaspora.
and I don't know if you'll be willing because we run a community of Nigerians in diaspora, a lot of them from even different countries and all. If maybe this is something we could talk about, maybe host you on one of our
Absolutely. We
seminar
can
in
talk about
Dubai,
this
and you could come
privately.
around. Okay,
We can talk more about this privately so that
okay,
we can let other people in. Thank you so much.
all
I
right,
really
that's fine.
appreciate it.
All right,
I look
you're
forward to
welcome.
your message.
All right, you're welcome.
Cheers and bye. Depend. Thank you for your patience. You have waited so long. Guys, you have stopped liking all of a sudden. It doesn't take much to keep tapping on your screen severally for likes, to share, and to make your comments, okay? I'm really having a blast with you guys here. As Depend comes on board. Please, Depend, thank you for joining. I really appreciate your patience. You've been on waiting for your chance, and here we have you now.
Yeah, good morning. Hello.
Very good morning to you. Please tell us where you're streaming from.
Yeah, I'm from Nigeria here. I'm from Nigeria,
Okay. Where in Nigeria? I'm interested.
Imo State.
Imo State. Thank you so much for joining. So, shoot.
Yeah. I wanted to ask for something like if someone that has up to 10 to 15 million, what can you advise the person to invest in?
Okay, if what I'm saying interests you, if you remember our sister in Ireland, Princess talked about how she had an investment in property and eventually was going through a lot and not seeing much in terms of rental income after having had to pay off certain expenses. And mark you, if you invest in property, you also renovate. In this part of the world now, tenants come in, stay for 2 years or whatever, 1 year, and then if they decide to leave, the place is all in shambles again. Your money will have to go back into that property for you to bring it up to a state where somebody can come and accept to rent. All of those problems you can save yourself by investing in paper assets. And truly, investing money depends on what your goal is, your investment goal. What do you want? Do you need this money in a couple of years from now, in a couple of months from now? That will determine what can be advised. Do you want to just put this money in an investment so it can keep growing over time while it is still earning you income? That is also possible. And I'm going to suggest two key things you can do. Okay, let me make it three. And please, everyone who has similar question, listen very closely. Let me assume that the 10 to 15 million naira you have it, but you need it in 1 year from now. If you are in that category, that you have bulk money that you need 1 year from now, and you don't want it lying in your account because it will be wasted devaluation and inflation will wipe out the value. And then family problems can come and sweep it off your hand. What you can do, if you need it 1 year from now, invest in treasury bills. Treasury bills are government instruments that have a maximum tenure of 365 days, which is 1 year. In that 365 days, they give you an interest of, say, 14%. 14% of 10 million is 1.4 million. The interest will come to you upfront in the sense that if you invest today, within 24 or 48 hours, that 1.4 million interest on 10 million comes to you straight as you drop your 10 million. After 365 days, your 10 million returns to you intact. That's treasury bills. No history of default, because you are lending to the government who can never default. If they get too broke, they print money and pay you your money. Treasury bills is one. So if 10 million is giving you 1.4 million, it means that 15 million should give you about 2.1 million or thereabouts at 14%. If you want to invest for 5, 10, 15 years, 20 years from now, I will advise that you put it in bonds. That is one way, or you invest in stocks. Bonds operate like treasury bills, no default history, but they come, currently the bond rates are high, up to 15, 16% per annum. So your 10 million, if you invest for 10-year bond at 16% per annum, will fetch you 1.6 million every year. There is no house that you can build with 10 million naira. But here you are, putting 10 million as if you have a house that is paying you 1.6 million every year as income. So you can consider it like a rental income. You get the point. Now,
Yes.
for the next 10 years, which is the lifespan or the tenure of that bond, your 1.6 million will keep coming every year, but it will come twice in a year, broken into two, because they don't want to keep you waiting for 1 full year before you get it. So, for instance, you invest now, 6 months after now, half of your 1.6 million will drop for you, which is 800,000. Another 6 months, another 800,000. So for the next 10 years, every 6 months, 800,000 will be dropping for you. There is no property you will build with 10 million. You haven't bought land. You haven't built the house. 10 million can't go anywhere. But here you are with 10 million, a rental income of 600,000. Yes, 800,000 every 6 months is coming to you. So in 10 years' time, that 1.6 million put together every year is amounting to 16 million naira that you would have earned as interest on your bonds that you invested. Interest in bonds is called coupon. That's a technical term for bonds. So you would have earned 16 million in 10 years. Then at the end of the 10 years, your 10 million returns back to you. If you invested for 20 years, that 16 million will now become 32 million. 10 million will give you 32 million for the 20 years that you keep that bond. After the 20 years, your 10 million returns to you. So imagine if it is 100 million you invested. 100 million will fetch you 16 million naira every year. For the next 10 years, 16 million times 10 years, you know what that means. 160 million, isn't it? You will
Yes,
receive
sir.
160 million in interest on your 100 million. At the end of the 10 years, your 100 million returns back to you. Isn't that wonderful? Then the third
Absolutely.
option is stocks. You buy stocks worth so and so amount, and then the value increases over time. Now, this one is for life. For the past 15 years since I bought Zenith Bank, I've been collecting dividend every year. And based on what GT Bank or Zenith Bank pays as dividend every year, the yield is about between 15, based on the price, between 15% and maybe 17%. If the price comes very low and you're able to buy, So for the rest of your life, you are collecting dividend as long as Zenith Bank does not fold. And we use fundamental analysis to gauge the health of companies so that we know when they want to collapse and we sell before they collapse. So all of these things keeps you, and most of these banks, the reason why I invest in them heavily is because the owners are also invested. Tony Elumelu is heavily invested in UBA. They paid 90 kobo per share. Tony Elumelu's dividend is 174 million naira. Next year, he will receive another 174, if not 200 million. And I'm talking about his direct holdings, the number of shares directly in his name, not the one in his company names. And there are many others, billions of shares in his company name. The same thing in Zenith with Jim Ovia. He is taking billions as Zenith Bank paid 2 naira 90 kobo final dividend. This is what we're talking about. So these are places where you can invest. For further clarification, maybe you can DM or whatever, and I can give you more updates. This is how you can have money cooling and working for you, and you are spending money from what you have invested, and everybody will be wondering, what is this man doing? He don't go do ritual. This man, they do yahoo yahoo. Nala. This is where a lot of the rich people have remained. Look at Atiku Abubakar. Spending millions, billions of naira every 4 years for election. He loses the election, he's back to Dubai. Is he stealing money? We are not in a position to say whether he stole or not, but he's no longer in government, so he's not continuously stealing. The same thing with everybody else who has remained up there, because people will go into government and leave. That money they are making will not be there forever. People are in business now. Tomorrow anything can happen. Find a way to put your money to start working for you while you are resting. As I am now on this platform, I'm resting. I'm doing what I love to do because my money that I've worked over the years and done business with is now working for me. This is the freedom I am trying to preach for fellow young Nigerians, fellow Africans, and everybody else around the world to start doing for themselves, because the economy is not getting any better anywhere in the world. Be it in America, be it in Europe. I have my family members in UK. They are suffering the same thing we are suffering. Things are not getting any cheaper. The only way they are getting ahead is by making their money work for them. This is the secret that the rich continues to trade with, that is hidden from the poor. The poor man still continues to think that I don't have enough to invest. That's why you will remain where you are. Look at Femi Otedola today. Femi Otedola last year bought 5% stake in First Bank, pumped in billions there, and somebody is in the board of directors now representing him as one of the majority shareholders in First Bank. This year, that same last year, he listed his company, Geregu Power. Geregu Power is now worth 800 billion naira. When they listed, it was 100 naira per share. Now Geregu Power is doing 200 and something. It got to 300 naira per share. Look at him now. Went into transport, spent about 6 point something billion naira buying transport. 2.2 billion shares. He bought it within 1 month and cashed out when Tony Elumelu decided that, oh boy, I did here now. How you won't come chance me? It's not possible. They struck a deal. Tony Elumelu paid him at market price for all the shares he bought within 1 month. That Transcorp moved from 1 naira 20 kobo to 3 naira 90 something kobo. Femi Otedola cashed out billions. These men are investing, and we are running away with the small money we have. That's why the poor remains poor and the rich keeps getting richer. Thank you so much. I hope I've answered your question. If you have any more things to ask, you may DM me for that. All right?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
I appreciate.
Okay.
Cheers and bye. So guys, as I begin to round off in this session, now you know why you have to be in the market. Thank God TikTok is now coming back and having me do my videos online free session. These are things that people pay money. These seminars, they pay a lot of money for it. I'm offering it for free. And all you need to do is just keep liking, follow, share, that's all. But if you need to have me come and do a training for your organization for anything, then you will have to pay. But this one is my own way of giving back to society, sharing knowledge, to help people to make their money. I sat down with a mentee and I told him, go back, make a record and come back with it of all the money that has passed through your hand in the last 1 year. And then let's sit over the table again and continue our session. Do you know the man came back crying? 14 million naira passed through his hands. He never knew that that kind of money has passed within 1 year. And look, for one, no car. This is the problem you are going to have if you don't sit down and put your money to work. That's why I'm sharing this knowledge with you. You must do something. I started investing before I gained admission into the university. If you think you are poor and you think you don't have money to invest, look at me. Eating from my father's house, going to school from there, before gaining admission into university, I have started investing in stocks. My first investment was 4,000 naira in Savannah Bank. Savannah Bank has collapsed, but Savannah Bank did not collapse with my money. I had sold my shares in that very young age before Savannah Bank collapsed. I've seen stock markets crash and rise. Stop being afraid. Why you are afraid is why you are where you are. It is time to take the leap and change the course of your financial destiny. By the time I was graduating from university, because I have developed that consciousness and mentality of investing, I was worth over 500,000 naira. A young Nigerian graduate worth over 500,000 naira. Then I could have been able to buy a car and still have change with that money. But you will never be able to associate me with 500,000 naira if I appeared before you that time. The boys who were driving their father's cars on campus were up there enjoying their lives and looking like the big boys in town. Most of them are nowhere now. That's what I'm telling you. If I was worth 500,000 by investing in my 5 years in university from not being employed, you can imagine what I have become continuing that lifestyle as a banker and then going on to work with Shell. This is the story I have for you today. I hope you truly are touched and like this video. If you want me to hold virtual sessions and physical sessions for your organizations to open their eyes, let me know and let's get it going, because you can't get it wrong doing it the way of the rich. Like I told you when we started, the richest man in the world who has toppled Elon Musk now is an investor in LVMH. It is a stock listed in Europe. It is selling for 872 euro per share. An investor is now ahead of Elon Musk in the rich list. All right? So please understand how these things work by following. And look, I didn't have this opportunity to find somebody who is able to share this information and lead me and guide me. I didn't have it. If I can come this far, you too can be guided and benefit greatly from this. I hope that I have done justice to today's session. And also, is there a required quantity of equity to buy at a time? Bishop Peter, there is no required equity. Your equity is according to how much you have. Okay? Can you refer me to a good and reliable stockbroker? I have answered that question. Meristem Securities, Morgan Capital Group, Stanbic IBTC Stockbrokers, United Capital. These are all stockbroking firms that you can walk into and open a stockbrokerage account. Don says, I just want to know how I can register online with brokers. Okay, I have answered that question. Go to www.morgancapitalgroup.com and then search for registration online and you can get going. Thank you so very much, D South. You have gifted me so much. I don't think I've had so much gift like this since I started doing my live sessions. You are great. I really appreciate you a lot. And I hope to get to meet you sometime. Maybe when we private chat. Hi, guy, why don't you respond to your messages? Please, I'm so sorry. Part trading signals. I'm very sorry if you sent me messages. I will go back again and check. My life is choked up with a lot of things to respond to, and that is why I may have skipped your message. But please, it is not personal, and I try as much as possible. If you check my videos, I try as much as possible to respond, but I also have a lot of things to respond to. For instance, the Nigerian market is on now. Every day, the Nigerian stock market opens at 10 a.m. Nigerian time and closes at 2:30 p.m. Nigerian time. And then the US market opens 2:30 p.m. Nigerian time and closes at 9 p.m. Nigerian time. So I'm always here or there in the markets, or I'm doing one training or teaching or the other. And that's why it's difficult for me. What are safe investment opportunities? Slivani. I've already mentioned that you invest in bonds, you invest in stocks, you invest in treasury bills. You can also invest in commercial papers. You can also invest in call deposits. Okay? All of that can be done for you. Okay? She's talking too much. Oh, sorry. She's really overwhelmed. That was our sister Princess, and she shared a lot of knowledge that I'm sure must have blessed people. Please enlighten us more on this SF's real she's talking about. Okay, it's a real estate investment trust. One good thing about real estate investment trust is that they also have specific regulations, which they are required to pay out 70% minimum of their profit after tax. And that's why real estate investment trusts pay so much in dividends. So if you are a dividend investor, you may want to consider investing a lot of your investment in real estate trusts, because they must make money and pay minimum 70%. So their dividend is so high, as she was explaining, it became much more than what she was earning when she was having that property she eventually sold to invest here and collecting rent. The rent, what she was getting from dividends in that real estate investment trust by way of dividend, was more than 3 times what she was earning in rental income. All right? So that's about that. Sorry about all the bad networks. You need stock market abroad. To me, say Olupona, I would like to, one of the regulations by Securities and Exchange Commission, both in the US, in Nigeria, and everywhere, is that you don't give stock recommendations if you are not a registered stock advisor. So I will tell you that my recommendations these are not stock recommendations. They are only my opinions for enlightening and knowledge sharing sake. Okay. Sorry for the bad network. I really. Okay, Princess uses Trading 212. I also use Trading 212, though they are not available for Nigerian-based investors anymore. Okay, Oremus was really happy with Princess. Thank you so much. Trading 212 does not accept Nigerian accounts, so you have to be based abroad to use their platform. So if you are in Nigeria, you can use Trove, Trove. You can use Chaka, and you can use Bamboo. But they charge you here and there because they are middlemen and they must make money while carrying out their assignment to serve you. Part Trading Signals, you subscribe for my consultation. Please, I need your updates very seriously, please. I really need to attend to you right away. I wish you DM'd me directly about it, but whatever the case, I will respond to you quickly. Just do me a reminder and let's trace where you made that payment. I reside in Dubai. Most of American brokers don't accept Nigerians. That's why I'm asking. Okay. I'm sure your question has been answered right now. Please add me to the paid mentorship group. Where and how do I pay? Oremos, please do me a DM and you'll be guided accordingly. Okay. The website and all of those links are on the link on my bio. Just click on the link on my bio. You will see all kinds of links that you can join up and check for every information that you need. Better still, if you want direct response, you can also DM me. Okay, the same thing with Chris Elvis. You can just DM me or you follow the links on my bio to join any or subscribe for any of the mentorship plans. My Instagram handle is the same with my handle here, Wealth Coach Omiete. That's the handle for Instagram. Thank you so very much. I'm really impressed with what Princess has been doing. She has been so resourceful, encouraging us even with her story and still pushing guys. No, come on, let's do this together. We are world changers, a community of wealth builders. Let's get it done. Thank you for the work you do. Thank you so much, Casey Gibson. I really appreciate your commendation. I lost my 1 million to MBA Forex. I'm so sorry about that. Love it. I'm so sorry about that. A lot of people ask my opinion about MBA Forex, and I told them those people are not trading Forex. With the knowledge of Forex that I know, the little knowledge I know, nobody can predict how much they make and tell you certainly that every month you'll be getting so and so. And everybody who came to me, I told them, don't do that because it's a Ponzi scheme disguised as Forex. That's why I tell people, please don't go and give people your money. Anything you are doing, if it is Forex, let them open the Forex account in your name. There are Forex trading platforms. All they need is your details. And once you do so, you deposit your money. It is appearing in your name. If you make loss, let it be lost in your name. If you make profit, let it be made in your name. So don't fall for any of these. Instead, if you are paying for a fee, for whatever training, mentorship fee, you know it's that one-off fee, and you know if it is affordable. If not, you leave it and walk away. But never give your money to people to invest. Somebody like that, I advised. I didn't know he didn't take my advice. He went in and put his 2 million. Later, he came back and confessed. Oh God, the thing where you tell me, I know, I know. Listen, I go put the money now. My money don't lose. I was very sorry for him, but you see, this is how they deceive people with bogus earnings just to draw you. They call it return on investment. That's one of the most abused words in the financial market these days. ROI, return on investment. They have no idea what it is, and they deceive people into investing. So sorry, Lovett, for that. There was somebody also in my office here who came in. He spent 50, he lost 50 million in MBA Forex. This same MBA Forex, 50 million gone. Wickedness of the wicked. So knowledge is key. I want you to have the edge over others. And what you know gives you that edge. That's why the word knowledge, no edge, no edge. You know gives you an edge over others. So you don't lose money anyhow in your investment. I've mentioned stockbroker severally. I'm sure you must have gotten that now. I need your help, sir. I lose my share certificate. If you lost your share certificate, it's very simple. You can, I wish I can share this link now, but just DM me that you lost your share certificate, and I'll give you a link where you can find out who the registrars of that stock is, and then you write them and go to a stockbroker. Usually, go to a stockbroker and then tell them you want to open a stock brokerage account, and then you had a certificate in the company. What company is it that you bought and the share is missing? Confirm which company's stock is that, and then they'll be able to trace it, and you will get your shares, including all your outstanding dividends. So just DM me, or you approach a stockbroking firm, and any stock share certificate you lost can actually be retraced, because they will need to dematerialize it so you can be able to trade it electronically. But while it is still in certificate form, it's not possible to work with it. So they will need to trace your registrar, because the registrars are the ones who have the records of shareholders and their certificates. So once they trace your name in the register, they dematerialize it, and then it becomes tradable electronically. Okay? I'm happy about a stock you recommend early this year in Frankfurt Stock Exchange. Oh, thank you so much, Benga. That was a Porsche. I just mentioned Porsche when they got listed, and they have gained ever since then, and they keep gaining. I like this kind of feedback that comes back to validate what I'm doing. After several years, you will come back and tell me, those things we discussed is now working for me. I am now free. I can now travel the world, pay for my visa, pay for my travels, air tickets, pay for my hotel bills, go on vacation with my family, and come back without any struggle. That's the kind of story we are trying to create for anyone who is ready to join our wealth building community. Please help us with 5 Nigerian stocks that will give dividend. GT Bank, Zenith Bank, UBA, MTN, you name it, NACO. This is not a recommendation. This is all my idea for knowledge sake. This is what the regulation says that we should always say, since we are not licensed stock advisors. What are the disadvantages? Disadvantage is that you can lose money, just like you can lose money in any business or any investment. But if you are able to make do your research and be guided properly, you can hardly lose money, especially when your eyes are in the market. Can I get Nigerian stocks on Bamboo? Yes, you can, but I advise everyone on those fintechs not to buy Nigerian stocks. That's because they will charge you double. They will charge you for doing the work that a stockbroker in Nigeria is still doing for you and will still charge you for. So if you are in Nigeria and you are buying Nigerian stocks, deal directly with a licensed stockbroker. Bamboo, Trove, Chaka, they are fintechs, middlemen that helps with investing for foreign stocks, and they've added Nigerian portfolio also. The point is they will charge you for buying Nigerian stocks. The Nigerian broker through whom you are buying on their platform will also charge you. So instead of paying double commissions, deal with a Nigerian broker direct and it paid commission once for all the transactions you do. Deal with Bamboo, Chaka app, and all those Trove apps when you are dealing with foreign stocks, because you can't register with a foreign broker. So they charge you for the services they render. I've answered your question. I need your mentorship. How can I go about it? Just click on the link on my bio to enroll for my mentorship program and ask any other questions through any of my channels on social media as displayed over there. Yes, Benga is really up and running and up to speed. He's giving us update now on Porsche stock. I mentioned it when it was around $80 or so per share. Then I did a video about it in my old account because TikTok, deleted my former account, and this is just the second one I created. Porsche is now 118 euros per share. So anyone who invested there is doing well. First bank shares, oh good, that's it. So go to a stockbroking firm, tell them about it, and then, in fact, you can go to First Registrars. Just go with a valid ID card and a utility bill to First Registrars. First Registrars are the registrars of First Bank. This makes it even easy. Walk into any major First Bank and tell them you want to meet First Registrars. Usually, in their biggest branches, they have First Registrars in the same building. They will direct you there depending on your location, and then you tell them about your missing certificate. They will check through their system, verify that you are the owner, and then dematerialize your shares so you can get value for it. And then all your outstanding dividends, they will also have you fill your e-dividend mandate form so they can now pay you all dividends that you have not earned from here. I hope to hear from you in another session in the future when you would have come back to say, yes, I went the way you told me, did as you told me, and I've gotten my stocks back, and I've also been paid my unclaimed dividends. All right? That's Marola Van. Thank you so much, everyone, for your engagement, all the like. Now, will you give me a parting like as we round off this session, because I need to let you all go on to other things while I also attend to the next business before me, which is preparing for the US stock market to open up and summarizing what has been happening in the Nigerian stock market. Okay? Implications of unclaimed dividend, unclaimed shares bought since 2003. Well, depending on what stock you approach the registrars, they will always find a way to dematerialize it, but you must have a stockbroker. So register with a stockbroker, tell them your details, and then they'll go about processing all those things. And then you fill certain forms, they will now move your shares into your stock brokerage account and begin to pursue for your unclaimed dividends to be paid to you. This is why I share this knowledge. So many people who have been undone by these loss of certificates, some knowledge not available, can now benefit. And suddenly, my prayer is that somebody will suddenly wake up. That paper certificate that is under your bed that looks so useless can suddenly become what, 1 million naira, 10 million naira, 5 million naira, or what have you. No matter how small the value is, at least knowledge has helped us to ensure that your sweat does not become a waste. Wow. You have a daughter that was 2 years old, you bought shares for her, she's now 18. I wish it was a very good company that has increased in value. Now you're talking about Access Bank. Well, gather the certificates, and just as I've explained, you can do what I've just told you about. She's now 18. That means she's of age now to also invest in her own name. So you can now proceed to open a stock brokerage account for her. Parents, what are you doing? Here is a parent who invested for his child while she was 2 years old and now she's 18. This is how you take the burden off you. Imagine you investing for your newborn baby after 10 years in very good companies. By the time they are up to the age of going into university, you can, from that investment, sponsor them in universities abroad. I am telling you the truth. If only you can be guided in investing in the right companies. This is absolutely amazing, exciting. I'm really loving this session right now. Okay, it's not letting you into my Instagram handle, Ola Classic. My Instagram handle is at Wealth Coach Omiete. That's it. The same handle that you have here on TikTok, at Wealth Coach Omiete, all together. You will find me on Instagram. And I'm the same everywhere. There's no hanky-panky about it. All right? Okay, so I have answered all your questions. Thank you so very much, everyone. Please, I need individual coaching on stock investment. I just saw join WhatsApp community. Yes, you can join the WhatsApp community and then you can enroll and get a lot of information as we keep sharing in that place. And then you also enroll for the paid mentorship. Eventually, we are going to be migrating people to a paid WhatsApp group where specific investment tips on which stock to buy, why you should buy it, how you should buy it, and so on and so forth, both for foreign and local stocks, will soon be created. We are trying to migrate people to a paid WhatsApp group where you can be created. And it's just 1 year subscription, $100 for the whole year. You'll be getting all the tips on where to invest in the foreign and local markets and all of that. That WhatsApp group is a premium WhatsApp group that is coming up because we need to pay for certain subscriptions that we are doing to gather the information from the US. And as we gather it fresh, because nothing goes for nothing, it's not free. You know, it is costing a lot doing what I'm doing for free right now, but we now want to structure it such that it now begins to take care of itself. Everyone who is subscribing is now part of paying for all those things just by your $100 subscription for 1 full year on that premium WhatsApp group. It will soon be open, so make sure you are on the general WhatsApp group now so that you can eventually be migrated there when you start making your annual subscriptions, because we are also paying monies here and there to be able to draw and receive information from US establishments that we need information from. Thank you so much, everyone. And it's been a wonderful time with you. I've exhausted my time here now, and I've got to leave now. Let your likes and your shares keep coming. If you are not following, this is what you have been missing. And for the past few months that I've not been able to come on because of network issues, that is now over. So I'm going to be more regular here so we can keep sharing and be practical. It won't just be come and teach and go. It will be show me what is happening in the market right now, and I'll take you through trading sessions as well. Thank you so much. Love you all. Nice to meet you once again. Really glad that I'm back again to meet you all. Thank you. Cheers and bye-bye for now.